Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe, and you're checking out Weekend at Gabe's, and thanks for checking out this latest episode. While you're here, also follow us on these social medias at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at The Real Sam Crane. Thanks for checking us out.
We got a phenomenal guest joining us from somewhere that gets plenty of sun, so she is not deficient of any sunshine. Love Alexa joining us tonight here on Weekend at Gabe. How are you?
Hello.
I found my light. I'm sitting right in front of my bathroom because I was like, I need natural light. So I'm here on my bathroom floor.
Hell yeah.
Well, you're going to get additional sun outside come this November when we don't have to turn the clocks back. So I don't know if you're excited about that.
Let's go.
Listen, Biden's approval of when he signs this is going to skyrocket because everyone's like, forget everything else, gas, food. I'm glad I got more sun. We're good.
More sun.
This man's giving us sun. I like him again.
I can't get a Joe Stimmy, but let me get some more sun. I'm game. But I'm glad you're able to join us. We appreciate you giving us your time. You got the new single, That's What Love Would Do. You are the queen of love records, of ballads. You absolutely kill it every go round. Recently, though, in your the video that was posted with the producers behind the record, you kind of hinted at, you're like, you know what, I'm really not, the ballad thing is cool, but it's not what I want to be known for or every go.
Yeah.
So, what's that sort of inner battle like? Because you're like, I'm really great at it, and the records are good, but also, you know, like, how do I sort of curb this, but also I don't stunt my growth as a writer?
Right. I mean, like, you know, it's that balance between like what comes natural, but also like going outside of my comfort zone. And like ballads are definitely my comfort zone, but like I don't want to just be like crooning on stage. Like I want to move. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I'm not always sad. I'm happy.
Great news.
So so what I've been doing is I've been writing upbeat songs with sad lyrics sometimes, you know. So but I've got some bops in there too. So I'm writing a lot right now, and the album that I'm writing, so I have an EP not out yet, but I'm working on an album.
We like to throw the siren when it's a Weekend at Gabe's exclusive. That's you know, if you wanted to give us a title of the EP, you know, I could throw the siren one more time.
Okay. The title, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, a Weekend at Gabe's exclusive from Love Alexa. Take it away.
It's called Dirty Child.
What?
Yeah. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave you on that. I tell people that, like, what? And then I explain it to them. They're like, oh, okay. So I'm just going to leave you on that. I'll let you ponder.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You also do, so, yeah, I mean, I went back into your catalog because there's the Love Alexa catalog, but there's also the Alexa Lusader catalog.
You went back.
Oh, I went back.
I
went back. The first record on that catalog is Bittersweet, circa 2012. And I'm digging it up, and I can see your face getting red as we talk about this. But my first question is how do you reflect on 10 years now? That's What Love Would Do, the latest sort of run on this journey that you've been on, but you've been all across the country.
Well,
you've collaborated with all kinds of people.
It's been more than 10 years. I took
more
some
than 10
stuff
years.
off. Yeah. If you can believe it. Yeah. I had an EP out when I was like 16, and you will never hear it. You gotta start from somewhere, you know what I mean? It was, you know, some of them were like not half bad. I had this song called Mr. Trouble that I wrote when I was like 13, and I was like, I don't know, it's got like a jazzy cool thing to it, but it's been quite the journey. So Alexa Lusader, I was really just finding my sound. There's a lot of pop things on there, a lot of EDM things. I mean, you know, we're all just trying to figure out who we are and what sounds right. I mean, I'm still doing that, but at least what I'm doing now, when I try new things, I still like the old stuff that I did under Love Alexa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, that song is a good song. I just don't have the feeling towards it. Like there are songs that I write like for other people too, where I'm just like, it's a good song objectively. It's just I don't have the feeling towards it. So in my mind, it's not as good.
Is that something where, because that was my second question on this topic, was sort of, you have this creation for yourself, but you also work as a songwriter and in giving those sort of, you know, songs away. But is there like, is that where you would draw the line there as far as like, this I'm going to keep for myself because I feel something about it, whereas this I might give to somebody else or pitch to somebody else because there's less of an emotional attachment to me?
Yeah, and well, so there's actually a song that I wrote with my friend Grabbits. It was called Someone Else, and it was like his story, but it was my voice. And it was a good song, and I was like, I don't feel it. Like there's like a disconnect there. And then he reached out to me and was like, hey, this is a great song. We should do something. I'm like, yeah, I know for sure. And I'm like, nothing's going to happen with it. And then a couple days later, he calls me and he was like, yo, so this producer Rez just hit me up. I don't know if you know who that is. She's like a really big Canadian DJ. And so he was like, she sent me an instrumental. I can only hear this top line over it. Are you cool if I take it? I'm like, absolutely take it. Like, I thought it was supposed to be for you in the first place. And then it ended up hitting the Billboard alternative charts. It went gold in Canada.
Wow.
Like, crazy. I'm waiting for my plaque right now. I'm so excited. But I knew, I was like, this isn't about me. It's a great song, but it's not about me. It needs to be for somebody else. So I don't have like, it's not like every song that I write has to be for me. I don't have that kind of pride, but like I want to give it to where it's supposed to go. Because I'm here to serve the song. I write the song and I'm here to serve what it is. It's not about me at that point.
Hell yeah. I love that.
So
how important was it to have that support of your family? You know, from I was reading like at age 3, you were singing, you know, "Cry for Me, Argentina," and then you
did your research.
We like, you know what? I'm giving myself an air horn for that. We go back. We find the things.
So,
anyway, sorry, small munchkins invaded.
Yeah, this is the first for the show. So how important was it to kind of have that support from your family to encourage you to sing and to get singing lessons, and then to make the trip and to invest in your career and move to LA and really take that next step? Because you know, you see a lot of children who have God-given talent and they want to do that, but they just don't have the support or the finances to do it. But you had that backing. How important was that in your development?
Oh, I mean, it was huge. I don't know how much research you did, but my dad actually used to play for the Tigers. So he has that like dream mentality of like, whatever you want to do. I remember when I was younger, he was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Dream as big as you can. And I was like, I want to be a singer, an actress, and a teacher. So I will do singing and acting in the summer, and I will teach during the school year. And then I realized how hard things were, and I was like, okay, well, no, I'm not going to do teaching anymore. And I was like, maybe I'll just get to singing, and then I can worry about acting later. But I mean, it was huge because my dad was the one who was always just like, do what you want, live how you want. And I don't know if I really would have pursued it without him telling me that like it was okay. And you know, people work 9 to 5s and they wish they could have followed their dreams. So I couldn't imagine, as hard as it is, I couldn't have imagined not doing this. I don't know if that makes sense at this point, but
yeah. No, because you said there's no plan B. This was it. You know, I read you say
this is it. Yeah. As much as my mom wants to call me and be like, hey, like, have you thought about maybe going back to college? And I'm like, no. This is it for me. So now that I'm like, I feel like I'm really starting to get my bearings on things, and she's starting to see it a little bit, but she won't see it until she sees it. That's okay. It's in finance. Like, I get it. I'd be the same way.
Hell yeah. And I think what's also cool about you having done it for so long is that you have this different perspective on the process. We talk to a lot of artists on the show, and it's always how quickly can I get to the next thing, or how quickly can I write the next hit or the next song or whatever. But for you, it's this long process of, you know, I mean, even in the story of the song that went gold in Canada, it's this long process of creation, and then eventually you get around to forming a release strategy behind it. Did you have to teach yourself that at first? It's not common to as a person who interviews a lot of people, it's not a common route.
It's definitely not a common route. I've always, I feel like I've just, like, my life has morphed into so many things, and like I was going through a lot of shit like in my mid-20s, like dealing with some traumatic things, which will be in my album, which is kind of like what it all is. But I always had this spark in me that was like, I know music is my passion and I know it's what I want to do. And I would go through these lulls and I'd be like, am I doing this? And I'm like, I'm 100% doing this. And there's this part of me that I've watched people rise and fall. And I always want to make sure I have a really solid foundation before I do something, because I want the longevity. I don't want it to just be a one-off. So if it happens super quick, you're going to fall just as quick. You have to have all of that behind you. And like, that's just kind of how I've always operated. And so, you know, if it takes me longer to get there, that's fine, as long as I set myself up for the rest of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't just like I just want to be fit. You know what I mean? Like,
say it again for the people in the back. Say it louder.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not just about being fucking famous. Like,
yeah.
you're gonna love it. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. That's why we do our show. We're not looking for fame yet. One of the things that also I really love, just sort of about, if I can just go comments on your singing style, is like when I was listening to the EP Dear You, it's like it feels like you're almost in my ear, like sort of hushing, singing. It's this really intimate experience and feeling about the way those records were presented, and that gives that intimacy of being close to you. Is that like a skill or something that you developed, or something that you think about of how
I'm so
people are
glad
making
you said that, because that is my goal. My goal is to be the musician that I needed when I was younger. Like, I would just be sitting in my room and like that. Thank you. That is like, I would listen to music and it was cathartic. And so I love the records where it sounds like they're in the room with me and they're right in front of me singing to me, and they're singing my emotions back at me and I can't articulate it. So I'm trying to articulate my emotions and hoping that somebody can relate to that and heal from it, or,
Sure.
you know, take it in how they need to. Like, I'll get messages of people being like, I never had a favorite song until I heard this and it saved me. And I hear those and I'm just like, fuck everything else. Like, what? That's insane. So that to me is the most fulfilling part.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the video, because that's why we brought you on. That's What Love Would Do is out now. We saw the interview with the producers, so I won't get into sort of how the track was made, but let's talk about how the video was made specifically. And specifically, I want to talk about the juxtaposition between the last two videos that you put out. That's What Love Would Do and Always Been Mine. Always Been Mine has this sort of this warm, vulnerable sort of style, this aesthetic, this color scheme. Whereas That's What Love Would Do, despite being, I feel, maybe more intimate as far as subject matter, has this gray palette, this different feel, this more alone. There's less stuff in the room with you. You're almost in a void as you're singing it. Yeah. Talk about that creative vision. Was that you working with a director? Was that you primarily directing yourself? What did that look like?
So those were shot in Detroit. So I'm from a suburb of Detroit, Rochester. So it's like 45 minutes north. And it was all shot by my friends. So my friends have a studio in Detroit called Eightfold, and they shoot everything. A lot of like car commercials, a lot of music videos, a lot of everything. And so, you know, because my style is very vulnerable, we wanted to do something more of just like a performance video. of just kind of showing who I am and letting the song speak through it. So with the black and white, in that white space, it kind of allowed for the words to like echo through, and you can like really focus on it. And then Always Been Mine, I like that it's almost like me sitting on my couch, like reflecting on this relationship, and I finally left it, and I'm realizing that everything is inside of me. It's like that's where people have a lot of their revelations, or in like their safe space and their home, and that's kind of like how it felt. But those were more like performance videos, and then the ones for my EP, we were actually just talking about it today. Those are going to be a little bit more production behind it. So
hell yeah. Well, we're looking forward to that for sure. Let's talk about sort of I don't know. Maybe let's go back. You talked about the new EP title "Dirty Child," and I don't want to get too into it if you're not comfortable talking about it. But we read somewhere that there was this childhood trauma for you, and that's been a sort of a huge part of your journey. Another thing that we hear when we're talking to artists is about, you know, creating from these negative spaces, creating from these negative mental spaces. Like people find that that's where they make their best stuff. But I found it really refreshing that sort of your journey to gaining traction into all of this, your journey to putting out the polished content that we've come to expect from Love Alexa over the past couple of years, has been more of a journey of healing as opposed to bleeding on the paper, as people say, or like, you know, things like that. So talk a little bit about sort of the fuel for the drive being more healing as opposed to having the trauma fuel this like exigence to be great.
Yeah, I mean, like I bled through some of my songs in Dear You. I don't know if you guys heard Russian Roulette, but I think I let out maybe 20 F-bombs in like a second time at the end. Yeah. So I definitely like let it out. And then after that, I was just like, I don't want it to define me. That's not the only thing, because that's not like who I am. It's something that happened to me, but it's not who I am.
Right.
So, but I've always felt this strong, when I think of like Love Alexa, when I think of me, but also just like Love Alexa, I created Love Alexa because I didn't know what love was in all senses of the word, not just romantic, like platonic, just love for anybody, love for myself. I didn't know what it was. And so it's basically my journey to find that, and in that comes healing. And so a lot of, you know, the album that I'm making, the EP touches on it a little bit, but the album is really going to touch on that. I'm getting so dark, by the way. I don't know if you guys can.
No, it's all good.
I'm just going to go closer to the window. This is funny. But yeah, I'm becoming a little bit more vague with, well, that's not really true. Kind of. I don't know. It's interesting because it's like I don't want to be so specific anymore, because that's just exhausting to sing.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So it's a constant like battle back and forth of how much do I say, what are people going to relate to, but then I'll talk about it with people and be like, I love hearing specifics in songs, but then also I'm just like, this is exhausting. Like I think I remember Ariana Grande put out one of her albums. I can't remember which one it was. And there was one song that she was like, I needed to let it out. But she's like, I hate singing that because I just remember the place that I was in. And so some of the songs that I put out, it was like, I just needed to let it out, but I don't listen to those anymore. It's like too much for me to listen to. So I want to create music that I'll listen to and be inspired by, and it won't just like bog me down.
That's a great segue, because I think it's Green Tea off the EP a few years back, where, you know, you're talking about this relationship where it's like it's a one-way form of emotion, and the partner is no longer attached or emotionally involved. And so how does it feel, or how challenging is it to write a love record about not being in love?
Very challenging. I mean, I've never been in love. That doesn't mean that I've never like had love for somebody. But if we're talking like, I don't want just like half-ass love. Like I want like I don't know if you guys are into astrology, but I'm a Scorpio, so I'm very intense and like I need the passion. And so like when I had love for these people before, it's not that the love wasn't there. It's just I didn't love myself, and so
Right.
I don't think that I was able to love fully, whereas I'm much more capable of that now. I think there's many facets to love. I think it's a very complex yet super simple. And I think I said this in the podcast, but I think love itself is very pure, and it's us humans that taint it.
Hmm.
And so, it's finding it's how to like facilitate it so that it can be this pure thing. And I feel like so many people are jaded by it, but they're just jaded by the human. They're not jaded by love itself.
Yeah.
I like that idea of sort of, and it's almost sort of reflected or paralleled in your selection of the name and moving away from Alexa Lusader, which is obviously you, the human being, and then creating this Love Alexa, which is almost like a superhuman personality for yourself. So I love that answer. But I would like to transition, speaking of love, into Love Notes by Alexa.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not sure if you even know that this Instagram exists still, but it does. But it does. And I spent some time looking at it today. So we like to have a little fun towards the end of the show and ask some questions that are not about the music necessarily and are designed to have a little bit of fun. But have you ever received a love note from someone?
If we're talking like a love note, no. But like I've had people like give me I used to have these, I think they were from like Anthropology or something, but it was like a love note notepad. And so I've had like some friends write on it, and that's sweet. But if we're talking like a love note,
Right. Someone trying to shoot a shot, like
no.
Yeah, I guess a DM doesn't really count. People
No,
lost all of
DMs
the.
not count.
That doesn't.
Can't even drink the dumb shit I've gotten there.
Okay, that's a good question then. What's the worst DM ever?
Oh no. I'll have to get back to you on that. Okay. I'm sure I've got something, but it's not coming to mind. There's definitely it's on the tip of my tongue. I know there's something where I was just like, "Oh, you're so out of touch." No, absolutely not.
All right, we'll let you stew on that one. Let's move into a different lane. You've got over 9,000 followers on YouTube, and the good bulk of that content comes from these covers that you do, which are super well produced, super well put together, doing a great job. I was thinking about reversing the trend. So obviously Love Alexa does a bunch of covers, but if you had to have somebody cover That's What Love Would Do, who would you have covered the song?
Like anybody.
Anybody. No, money is not an object.
The first person that comes to mind, just because we were talking about her, is Ariana Grande.
I think
like
that's a good
somebody
answer.
with some fucking vocals.
They gotta have pipes to really do it.
Or like really switch it up and get like Lana Del Rey to come in, because I love Lana Del Rey. Like she just does like a really like sultry version of it. Like I feel like that'd be beautiful.
Okay.
Or if like Harry Styles wanted to come in on or something, I'd be like fine with that.
Harry Styles, if you're listening, send her a DM, but not a weird
Harry,
one.
I love you.
Right. Exactly. All right. One last fun question before we get out of here with Love Alexa. That was recently posted on your Twitter account that one of your friends just got obliterated by you in Cards Against Humanity. This comes from our intern producer. She asked, "What's your favorite card to play in Cards Against Humanity? What's your go-to?"
You know what? There was a really good one. It was it was the Academy Award goes to blank for blank. And it was the Academy Award goes to men for half-assed foreplay. Somebody
Yeah,
plays it, and I go, "You won the game. You won the game." That's it.
You win. You
yeah,
win.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
On
are like,
behalf
"Oh,
of
shit,
on behalf
I
of
don't know
men,
what to say."
yeah, great card. Great
I
card.
hope it's not you. I hope it's not you.
No, this
it
is
has been.
Like, oh no, it's not me. It would never be me.
I don't know. You know, it's like I'm guilty of all kinds of things. Okay.
Neither could I.
Okay. One last question from the interns, who were very impressed with your hair throughout their research experience, and they wanted to know if there's a hair routine so that they can have curls with the bangs like Love Alexa. Is there anything that you can give our lovely interns that they can take with them for the rest of their life?
I really wish I could say that there was like a product that really has done something, but like honestly, I got it from my mama. Like she's got great hair. I've been taking collagen recently. Because I think, I mean, me being me, I love getting to like the core and the root of an issue. So starting from inner and going outer rather than just having an outside product. But I would say always making sure your hair is healthy. Like when you're curling your hair, that's a lot of heat on your hair. So like heat protectant things, just keeping it healthy. I don't know if that's helpful, but that's what I would.
No, I like that. I think the collagen is a tip. I might actually take you up on that.
You got to take it every day because I think it takes a while to kick in, but once you start doing it more, then you'll see results. So
yeah,
you have to keep me posted on your collagen journey.
Yeah. No, I will. I very much will. And of course, as we know on this show, Gabe has the best hair on this show, so he needs no tips. That touch of gray is all natural. He's not doing that by himself.
It's well placed. It's very well placed.
Listen,
it's almost like you purposely did that.
That's what everyone thinks, and I always tell them I'm not that creative. So,
wow,
it's God given.
Cool.
An answer for sure.
Love Alexa, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time and having a ball with us. Good luck on the new EP. Please let us know. We'd love to have you back to explore it when it comes out. Dirty Child, whenever it drops, hopefully this spring. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. I had so much fun.
All right, thank you. Love Alexa, here on Weekend at Gabe's. That was hella fun.
That was fun. What an intelligent human being, and I think an example to a lot of young artists. You know, to go out there and like she said, build that foundation for yourself so that everything builds on top of that. You know what I'm saying? She talked about healing the trauma. She talked about taking her time with songs. And you can see how meticulous she is about not only her stuff, but the project she works on for other people, and the moves that she's making. So, honored to have her on the show. What a time.
I think she might be our first gold record artist. Well, I guess, I
don't know. Oh, wait. Oh, no, we had...
Malik Youssef has gone platinum.
Yeah, sorry. We definitely had Malik Youssef.
He have some writing credits on some platinum.
I was thinking about Rocky Fresh. Rocky Fresh got to have at least one gold record.
He got gold records. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our third record, I don't know.
Okay. I'll give that 2 air horns. I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe. Thanks for checking out this latest episode of Weekend at Gabe's. Click on any of the links swirling around my head and also hit the subscribe button while you're here. Thanks for checking out us here on YouTube.